it really is all starting to come to a head now. It's just undeniable at this point.
Asylum seekers to stay at Epping Hotel after government wins the appeal. Why would the government be advocating and trying to keep asylum seekers in the country? Why would they even be doing that?
That the state itself is set against the British people and in favour of foreigners
judge
who break into our country. And not just the ones that break into our country, the ones that against our democratic will.
I mean, why don't you, I'm going to be honest. This might sound like, again, this is one of my many maybe insane takes. I think that if you have a judge that is making rulings that are in the best interest of foreign interests and foreign countries over American interests or over British interests, that person should be tried for fucking treason. Like, if you have this person that is going out there and they're advocating for and trying to stretch the law in order to disadvantage the people in their country, at what point do you put them on trial for fucking treason? Because that's what they're doing. That's what it is. Based? Yeah. I can't, bro. Calm down. No. Look. That's what I think. That's what I would do. I would do that immediately.
Has said,
so half the politicians in the USA for Israel, your terms are acceptable. Absolutely. 100%.
In their millions, that they can come and settle in this country. Nobody wanted this. Nobody asked for any of this. This was done completely. I mean, every manifesto of every party that's won for the last 50 years has said, yeah, no, we're not going to have immigration. We're going to reduce immigration. We're going to get immigration down to the tens of thousands. Yep. We're going to make sure immigration is manageable. It has not happened. And so now the country is just awash with strangers. And this is why Keir Starmer was like, yeah, well, we are risking turning into an island of strangers. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Because I go out into my local town that just 5 years ago wasn't like this. It was a normal English town. And now it's just crazy.
You can tell he's mad. He doesn't get mad a lot, but he's mad.
Absolutely crazy how just anyone from anywhere is allowed to come and live here, and we have to pay for the privilege.
It's ridiculous.
This, of course, is all sparked this latest sort of confrontation has been sparked by the court's decision about the asylum seekers staying in the Epping Hotel, which is, again, just mad, actually. If you just think about it from a perspective that isn't invested in the conflict, you think, hang on, why would they be doing this? So, of course, the local council in Epping applied for an injunction to get the asylum seekers, 138 of them, removed from the Bell Hotel in Epping because a couple of them had sexually assaulted kids.
No way. The thing that never happens happened again. Wow. This might be the first time. They only moved some out of the hotels into 300K homes. Yeah, I don't see how anybody can be retarded enough to think that bringing in a bunch of random fucking migrants and illegals and then paying for them to live here isn't driving up the cost of living. How the fuck can you possibly believe that? It's like if somebody is in a house, then you can't be in the house. So if they're there, then you're not there. It's just so obvious.
And the government decided to appeal this.
What do you do?
On specific grounds. They actually have... the government lawyers say it was relevant public interests in play are not equal and are fundamentally different in nature. What? Yeah. There's a bunch of very suspect men that we have to pay to house here. Yeah. And then you've got
why do I think this is okay?
The normal people of Epping who are worried that these men are going to do something to their children. So yeah, you're right.
I wonder why they're worried.
Not equal.
It's a mystery.
One side
Nobody
shouldn't
knows.
even be in the country, and the other side is right by default. So weird how the government's like, yeah, no, this is a problem. Because, and this is the thing, they realised that, oh, wait, there will be a wave of legal challenges from other councils over the use of hotels in their area if Epping's victory would set a precedent. So
time for a Revolutionary War Part 2? I mean, I feel like they need to have something needs to change. I'll say this. I don't see how you can have a government that's actively working against the interest of its own population and not realize how bad that is. Why are they doing it? I don't know.
Our intention.
I don't think anybody
to bring
really
in
knows.
Loads of foreign men will be.
Well, I mean, there are reasons, but there's not really a guarantee.
We allow this, and so okay, what a shock! What a shock! Lord Justice Bean at the High Court said
Justice
the High Court ruling
Bean?
by Mr. Justice Eyre failed to consider the challenges of relocating the migrants. Well, I'm sorry, how's that our problem? Deport
exactly, yeah.
They shouldn't be here.
Fucking duh. Yes, absolutely.
The judge's approach ignores the obvious consequence that the closure of one site's capacity means capacity needs to be identified elsewhere in the system. Too bad. Deport them. They shouldn't be here.
Yeah, they should. Exactly. That should be the end of the conversation. Should be that is, are they supposed to be here? No? Okay, then they have to leave. Period. Done. Over. Finished.
And yeah, it looks like the rights of the illegal immigrants are being put above the rights of the British people.
They absolutely are. And the government is acting in their best interest. Every dollar that's allocated to helping house a migrant is a dollar that's not being allocated towards helping house a British person or an American or a French person, depending on what country it is. Like, you live in a world of finite resources, and you live in a world of finite money. Like, there's scarcity in the world. You can't just have infinite, everybody has everything. That doesn't work. It's not like a video game.
Highly true. That is what it looks like, and it seems to be the actual case of the matter.
It's our tax
the actual facts seem to be.
Yeah, they take the money away from you, but by threat of force with your taxes. And then they redistribute the money that they force you to give them to random fucking third worlders that show up to your country, and they don't even care. They don't even speak your fucking language. They don't speak your language. They don't care about your culture. They don't care about your tradition. They just want to live in your country. It's outrageous.
That's what they're doing. And again, you've got to remember.
At what point is this not treason?
These aren't exactly good guys, as far as we can tell. But Lord Bean said...
I'm sure some of them are. I mean, like, again, it's the same with anything, right? Where, like, the majority of these migrants probably aren't doing anything wrong. But the issue is that the amount of them that's doing anything wrong should be zero, because the number of them coming over should be zero. It's a completely unforced error that shouldn't even be happening in the first place. You should not even open the door for this to have been a problem at all.
This was worrying.
Is there any solution for this?
Because if an outbreak
send
of
them
protest
back.
enhances a case, this runs the risk of acting as an impetus for further protests, some of which may be disorderly around asylum accommodation.
Oh, no.
There's a risk of encouraging lawlessness.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that telling people, no, you have to have the rapists in your community within walking distance of a school is definitely not going to cause any protests. I mean, that's the...
No, why would people be mad about that?
That's what's been causing the protests so far. But I'm absolutely certain that you telling everyone to shut up and suck it up is definitely going to stop the protests. And this is genuinely what they're worried about. And unsurprisingly, it's what they're worried about, because I think it's going to continue to happen. In fact, we know it is. It's already happening. But this is just one of those things where you can't help but feel that when they say it's not equal, they're not wrong.
Well, it's
but
obvious.
The problem is the locus of their attention, right? So, as you can see, Piers Riley Smith for Somani Hotels, they own the Bell Hotel, said this risks precedent being set. Well, yeah, but obviously you'd be against it because the government is bribing you, paying you,
yeah, of course,
to host migrants in the hotels. So why would we listen to you?
Well, yeah. Oh, wow. What a big surprise. The guy who's getting paid by the government to, house all of these people and effectively guarantee him business is in favor of the government guaranteeing him business. Wow. What a huge shock. Yeah. Let's interview a person who is completely dependent on this happening in order to make money. Like, what a ridiculous... Why would you even ask them? Of course they're going to be in favor in it. It's insane.
Obviously, you're going to be like, oh no, we should definitely have the migrants in our hotel because ka-ching. Like,
yeah, duh.
And again,
of course.
The argument, there's no evidence exactly where they'd go if the judge's decision was not overturned. And they overlooked the hardship the migrants would face.
Have you seen the judges blocking Trump to deport kids back to their family as in their country? We have a judicial coup in the U.S. I think so, too. I think that we have the same problem with judges here that side with foreign interests over American interests. And if they got tried for treason, I think that would be pretty fair. I do. I think that, again, I think there needs to be more Old Testament solutions for this kind of stuff that are arrived at through a diplomatic and a legal process. Like, I'm not an advocate of vigilante justice. I don't think that's the way that you should do it. But I think that you should use the system and apply it in the most harsh way possible. Does that make sense?
I don't care. I'm not overlooking it. I don't care. I mean, personally, I'm in favour of corporal punishment for them breaking into our country.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in favour of the state literally arresting them, putting them in stocks, and having them flogged, and then deported back to wherever they've come from for the temerity of breaking into our country.
Yeah, you just fucking randomly show... Exactly. Imagine being against that. What the fuck are they doing showing up here?
And attacking our children.
Yes.
Right? The idea that I'm in favour of them suffering hardship, like massive amounts of hardship, as punishment for what they have done to us and the people of Epping. Right? I am in favour.
Fucking finally, W. Oh my God. Because you have to have a disincentive. Yeah, absolutely that's what you should do. Yeah, like, what are we talking about? These people are disrespecting your country. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about your laws. They don't care about your country. They actively don't give a fuck about you. How do you know that they don't give a fuck? Because they're not following the rules to get there in the first place. That's like saying somebody that steals something out of a store likes the store more than a person who's buying something. It's ridiculous.
Of hardship. So it's really weird argument, frankly. But yeah, the protests have already happened. There was a woman here who went up to the Epping Forest District Council building, put up a British flag, and she was arrested. Now, of course, they didn't do that with the Palestine flags on our war monuments and things like that.
This is why people are saying that two-tier shit over there. And we have the same thing happen here, but like whenever it happens and it's this blatant, it's going to radicalize a lot of people. And I think that's what's happening. Have you seen that Florida's removing pride flags on the streets? Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I do. I think it's a good thing. This is a identity flag. I don't think that any identity flags need to be approved and put there by the government. Like, I don't want to have a the only flag that should be flying. There are two flags that should be flying. The American flag and the state flag. That's it. No Confederate flag, no fucking Palestinian flag, no trans flag, no rainbow flag, nothing else. No Israeli flag? Absolutely fucking not. NATO flag? Okay, all right. For NATO, if you want to have a UN area, yeah, you can have all the fucking... Oh, yeah. Well, what about the area where it's like a diplomatic area? Okay, yeah, fine. You can have all the France and the UK's flags there. That's it.
So, again, it shows you where the locus of concern is, right? Because what does put up a flag mean? A flag is a symbol. A flag is an embodied representation of something else. When you put up a flag, you are saying this territory is under the jurisdiction of the people and moral system it represents. And so when you put up the Palestine flag, that's being used as an embodiment of foreign people and the moral system of leftism, the moral system of extreme radical leftism, to say, no, this when you see this flag, it is a representation of the moral jurisdiction.
Yeah, I don't want to see people marching around in my country with other flags. I don't. Like, you can say this is racist, you can say that it's xenophobic or whatever. I don't want it. If you want to go march in with somebody else's fucking flag, I don't want to arrest you if you're in America. You got the First Amendment. But I'd love to buy you a ticket to go over there and stay there one way. It's annoying. I don't like it.
Of radical left-wing lawyers, radical left-wing politicians, and radical left-wing activists, and the foreign client groups that they represent. When you see the British flag, or more pertinently, the flag.
Go stop them, but you won't. So shut up, pussy ass bitch. Change the topic. You really that mad? Of course I would. Well, we did. I did stop them. I did. So this is the thing, is that I don't see, this is a problem that I think some people like this have, is that you think that the solution is violence. Why would I want to solve a problem with vigilante violence? Why would I do that? No, I would just simply vote for people to make that decision in my behalf. And also, just because I don't like something doesn't mean that I have the right to stop it. A person has a right to express themselves in a way that I feel is distasteful and disagreeable, but that's their right to do it. Do you understand that? Do you get the difference there? I mean, you're getting banned, by the way. You're getting banned. You're done. But I just want you to understand that. It's not violence. You can stop them by law. Well, yeah. I mean, again, yeah, I don't like it. So, like, for example, like, I don't think anybody should drink alcohol. Like, I don't think anybody should gamble. I think it's stupid. But people do it. They do it all the time. By law? You can stop them by law? Yeah, he's a retard. Okay, let's just ban him. Then why are you advocating to stop them? I'm not advocating to stop them in all circumstances, but what I am advocating for is the government in order to... So, basically, whenever Texas or Florida is removing these places, these are things that are sanctioned by the government. I think that the government sanctioning the presence of flags that are not national flags is effectively signaling an invasion of your own country. So that's the way that I look at it. So when Florida systematically decides that we're not going to have these flags be represented by by the government's not going to allow this to happen. That's very different than me saying a private citizen can't have the flag. I don't like either one of them, but whenever I'm talking about what should happen, I think that, yeah, if you're in a public space and this is sanctioned by the government, the only flag that should be there is the capital's flag, the nation's flag, and the state's flag. It's that simple. I'm just going to ban this person. But yeah, by example, this is also really the bigot quoted is Roman philosophy. Asmon is so off base here. Yeah, this is just somebody who comes in and talks shit all the time. You're getting perma'd. Okay, so anyway, dude's been hate watching for a year. Yeah, he's just a retard. It's not even, should have been more respectful. Yeah, I mean, like, you could have had a conversation. Anybody who's rude to me like that, I just permaban. Like, that's just how it is. And so anyway, look into it real quick. It's for a gay club shooting. I have no idea about that. Why do people get so worked up over a fucking piece of cloth? Well, I mean, the same reason why people get so worked up. I mean, you realize, like, money is cloth too, right? In a lot of cases, why do people get so worked up over a piece of paper? Like, what a stupid way to patronizingly compartmentalize the issue and just make it sound stupid. Like, you're just being dishonest. You're being dishonest, and everybody knows it.
George, what that states is this is under the moral and legal jurisdiction of the British people, and in the case of England, the English people, and it is their interests, their rights that are being upheld, their claim to the country that is being represented in the flag. That's why they arrested the mother of Epping, and that's why they didn't arrest the Palestinians. The police know which side they are on. They are the police of tolerance. The
police are afraid of being labeled as racist, and the government that's there is also being afraid of being labeled as racist. And I think that a lot of the pro-Palestine people have successfully convinced and gaslighted enough of the population that criticism of that movement is racism. And I think also, like, there's a very big difference, like, most people probably are not, like, if you really explain the situation to them in, like, just a general sense, most people are probably going to come out on the side of Palestine. They're going to, at least the people, they're going to sympathize most with the people in Gaza. Like, not Hamas, not Israel's army, but if you tell them of the story of the way that those people are living, I think that you will see the majority of people sympathize with them. I do. Some people disagree. That's fine. That's my opinion. But I think these people are doing damage to the movement. And I think the reason why they do that, this is the big issue. The reason why they're doing damage to the movement is because a lot of these people don't really care about it. And you see this on, like, their loudspeaker horns where they have, like, the pro-Palestine sticker is on top of the anti-Trump sticker, which is on top of the BLM sticker. These people are just virtue signalers looking for a cause to fight for because they have nothing of any meaning or value in their life. And that's really what it is. They're just using these social causes as, or political causes as social accessories for them to show off that they care about these issues. It's so obnoxious. The people cheering October 7th, nah. Well, yeah, obviously that's bad. But I mean, a lot of the people that are there, I mean, again, like I think that if I explained the whole thing out, people could see kind of where I'm coming from. But at the end of the day, that's my point that I'm making. Nailed it with the overlapping stickers. Same with the collecting flags in Twitter bio. Yeah. It's so exhausting. And that's the real reason why they're so damaging. It's because they don't really care about these issues 9 times out of 10. They just care about being seen as a person who cares about the issues.
And diversity. They are the police of the international multicultural global order.
Of course.
That's what they are here to defend. And that's why they have such trouble recruiting. That's why they have such trouble retaining police officers.
Yep.
That's why their job conditions are so difficult. They are, in effect, an army of occupation. They are here to protect an imposed globalist order that people never voted for, didn't want, and don't support. And so no wonder it's so difficult for them to keep and maintain recruits. No wonder there's so much resistance and friction between the police and the communities they are supposed to police. I remember this is meant to all be done by consent.
Sure.
But people just don't consent anymore.
Well, they've clearly not consented. They've repeatedly voted against it. There's been protests against it. There's been people advocating against it, but it just keeps happening. At what point, whenever you can't vote to solve a problem, and you do vote to solve the problem when the problem isn't solved, again, I say this, I hate repeating myself, but I do it every day. I know I do it every day. Is that when you make reasonable conversation impossible, you make unreasonable conversation inevitable. And that's what's happened, is that people have tried to talk about this for years, but they've always just been labeled as racist, and then that's it. They just get compartmentalized and then pushed off. Now there's so many of them that it's a problem.
People just don't want this. Anyway, let's you might be thinking, well, hang on a second, what are you talking about? What proof do you have that these judges are far left and that this is a liberal international order? Well, quite a lot, actually. And this is a remarkable article on Sky News. Now, Sky News used to be a part, and I would have always considered Sky News one of the core mouthpieces of the global liberal international order, the leftist international order.
I think that they're probably more right-wing.
They're doing surprisingly patriotic work, which I didn't see coming.
Don't see that, yeah.
They've published this article, political leanings of the 2 judges involved in the Epping Migrant Hotel case and who they sided with. Now, you've got Lord Justice Bean is the ex-treasurer of the Society of Labour Lawyers and used to chair the Fabian Society. Go and look up the logo of the the former logo of the Fabian Society, which of course is affiliated to the Labour Party. I mean,
what the fuck? Oh, is this just like Socialist Party, basically? It's like just another type of vocabulary. This is the first one? Ah, a wolf in sheep's clothing. I get it. Okay.
Sadiq Khan was a chair of the Fabian Society. Loads of them are. And then so Stephen Eyre
makes sense.
Was a Tory parliamentary candidate. So you can see how the judges are falling on this. One judge is a radical left-wing Labour Fabian, and the other is a conservative. So he's concerned about the integrity and the continuation of the country. And so you can see this is explicitly political. There is a political war going on in the judiciary, and a bunch of leftist judges are making their judgments and their decisions. And so basically we have to hope.
Well, it's very obvious that they're making these decisions based off of their own personal viewpoints. They're not looking at what's in the best interest of the society. They're not looking at what's in the best interest of the country. They're making ideological judgments that are meant to fulfill their worldview. That's not what a judge is supposed to do. And that's what I was saying. Like, I mean, if you're doing this, like, at what point is this not treason? Right? I mean, I feel like it's got to be at some point. If you're actively working against the people that are living there in favor of people that are foreigners, at what point are you not betraying your country?
The last analysis is done, the last judgment is made by a conservative justice. We just have to hope that that's the case, because otherwise we get, and let's be real, I think the system is just going to essentially sort of not rig it, but be structured in such a way that the highest level of judges is definitely going to be the international lib types, and they're going to rule in favor of the foreigners. And they do it every time. It's not an accident that this happens.
Do you think AI will replace judges? I don't know about that.
Up. And this is, again, the purpose of the system is what it does. This is how it operates for a reason. This is the two-tier nature of the system. It is designed to extract wealth, extract power, extract resources, extract anything that it needs, manpower, out of the native population of this country, and then use those resources, use that power, use that money in order to facilitate the plantation of this country with foreign colonies. And it doesn't matter how much you object to that. They will just arrest you.
Yeah. Agree with them or you get arrested. Yeah. What I think is so crazy about this is that, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that's like, I mean, this is like third world country behavior, and people just for some reason put up with it. I don't understand about this. How are you not pissed off about this shit on a daily basis? Well, I'm not really. The reason why I'm not pissed off about it, if you want me to be honest, is that I don't think that it's going to last. I think that eventually, it's very clear that a lot of this stuff is getting to a boiling point. And I think that at a certain point, everybody is going to, and you're seeing this all around the world. I mean, this is like an international zeitgeist that's happening. You're seeing it in America. You're seeing it in Japan. You're seeing it in Australia. You're seeing it in Europe. Like, whenever it's happening all across the world, there is a global refutation of the idea that people are just going to be interchangeably, relocated to the countries of their choosing. Like this, it's a worldwide crash out. I don't believe this is boiling point. I doubt it'll happen. Well, it sure looks like it's happening.
Will just use the system against you, make their rulings against you, regardless of how ridiculous it looks, regardless of the fact that they know that this is going to cause protests, way more protests. It strikes me that actually conceding on these points would have been more sensible, but no, now it's being drawn to a close. It's being, pushed to a head on all of this, on this particular issue. It's like, okay, well, I mean, the people of Epping have nowhere else to go. The people of Britain have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, they're stuck.
The foreigners you're bringing in absolutely do have somewhere else to go. And at some point, it looks to me...
Well, it doesn't matter whether they do or not. Like, their problems, like, there are so many people that have problems in the world. You can't fix everybody's problems. It's an impossible task to begin with.
Like, the situation will become so dire and untenable that it'll just be not worth their time to stay here. And then we will be left with our treacherous judges, our treacherous politicians, our treacherous police officers.
See, even he's saying it.
And they won't even have the foreign constituencies to back them up. Anyway, you've got things like this, which is just crazy.
A boutique hotel owner has rejected $3 million contract to house migrants, saying it would harm the village. Wow. And this is the reason. See, this is the marriage between the business class and the governmental class, and that they create as a collective the ruling class, because the business class receives money that's collected by the governmental class through taxes. That's what happens.
Not obviously this hotel owner is the crazy one, but it's crazy how this is the situation that we're in, right? As you can see, James here, a boutique hotel owner in Cambridgeshire has rejected a £3 million 7-year contract.
That's not much for us for 7 years.
Saying it would harm the village and refused to be part
a year.
of the arrogant government's asylum system.
Yeah.
What an absolute patriot. If you're ever in Cambridge, Go and stay at Willingham House. We have to absolutely support the patriotic people of this country who refuse to be bribed by the state, and they refuse to take part in the replacement of the British population. They refuse to be a part of this system because this system is going to age badly. When it comes to the end of all of this, people are going to be like, wow, you were complicit in this. I mean, for example, and Elon's been making...
No, I think that's what's going to happen, is that if the people that are against immigration ever get in control, the people that were advocating for it and facilitating it, if I were them, I would leave the country. I would leave the country. I would get out of there as fast as I can. Because I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen after that, right? It's just pretty, what are we doing? It's pretty obvious.
A lot of noise on this recently, which is absolutely superb. The government in Britain is bribing owners with multi-million pounds for 7-year contracts to house illegals. Their goal is obviously to amplify and extend the illegal migrant tidal wave, not reduce it. Anyone saying otherwise is a liar. Thankfully, this good man rejected the bribe. Completely true. Completely true.
Absolutely.
This is an incentive to get more illegals into the country because, frankly, they have decided that the native constituency is an unwinnable battlefield at this point.
Well, if they're allocating $3 million to this hotel owner, that means that's $3 million that's not being allocated to the people that live there, who have lived there for 100 years, hundreds of years. That's really the issue right there.
Can't politically compete with the natives, so now they have to start courting foreigners.
They're smart enough they would stop right now.
One of these hotel owners into a billionaire doing this. They turned him into a billionaire.
Britain's first billionaire migrant hotel king. Meet the type. See, this is the kind of stuff that, in my opinion, this should not be partisan. This should not be a partisan issue at all. This is the government that is forcefully extracting money from the population and then reallocating the money to some other random fucking guy and paying him to house a bunch of fucking migrants. They're not even citizens. Some fucking random migrant illegal immigrants. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. This is the kind of stuff, again, everybody in the entire country should be united against this for no other reason than the blatant corruption that it indicates.
So much of your money has been funneled into Graham King's pockets, and that smug, smirking traitor. You've got to ask yourself, well, how long is this going to last, Graham? And what happens when the actual bill comes due?
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. If those people ever get in charge, they're going to probably just kill them. That's what's going to happen, because that's what happens at the end of every revolution. And I do think that there is a very high probability of that happening. I know it might sound crazy. I don't think it really is. Everybody always acts like, oh, this stuff is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And then it happens. That's it. And so you mean a beheading? I don't know what I don't know how they're going to do it. I have no idea. But I could easily see it, talking in extremes. I think that there's a lot of people that don't think that's as extreme as you think it is. And here's the problem, is that, let's say, I don't think that beheading and killing other people because they're your political enemies is a good thing. I don't think it's a good thing either. I'm not advocating for this. But what I'm saying is that I think that's where things are going. And I feel like it's very obvious that's where things are going. It's normalcy bias. Yeah, exactly, right? It seems like crazy talk, like people talking about civil war in America, levels of dumb. I don't think so. I really don't. And I think also, look at Elon's third post. It's about new information. Yeah, sure. I'll look at it and see if I can find it. Turns out that the illegal Iraqi migrant who killed the 16-year-old Ukrainian war refugee in Germany by pushing her in front of a train had a deportation order issued for March 2025. So the authorities never carried out the deportation as so many times before. And do you really think that the people that are over there are going to say that what I was advocating for, saying was going to happen? Would you really think that they think it's too extreme? You really think that? I people wanted to. The thing is, I think that everybody really doesn't understand how absolutely fucking savage human beings can be. Like, insane. Like, people do not even understand 1% of it. And I think that every once in a while you get a glimpse into it, right? You see like a tribal nation that, sticks a stick through somebody and then cooks them alive and eats them. Or like obviously Holocaust or something like that, Nazi Germany. There's like Mao and fucking China, Stalin. Like, you do get a glimpse of it, but people always assume that it'll never happen again. Oh, it's never going to happen again. It'll happen again, I guarantee you, because it's in our nature. It's in our nature. This is what people are programmed to do. They're killers by nature. And I think that's what's going to happen. That's why, for example, we've never been able to get rid of murder. Murder's never been removed. Like, people were killing each other 5,000 years ago, and they're still killing each other now. Nothing's changed. Oh, he's got short today, play some YouTube videos. Yeah, really? You think so? And killing a child by bus is savage, so what goes around comes around? Yeah, I mean, obviously people are going to be furious about that. The chaos of 2020 gave a glimpse of what happens when the veneer of civilization comes off. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot more extreme than what people imagine. Why does Elon call the other person illegal, but she is a war refugee? Iraq also had a war. Well, because the person had a deportation order and she didn't. Look at the next story. Let me see what this is. Talking brutally stabbed to death by a 15-year-old migrant boy. Oh boy. It turns out that the killer had 6 previous serious crimes, including harassment and assaulting police officers. But he was free to roam the streets, and he killed Leo. Wow. Do you guys still think that it's extreme? You really think that? You think it's extreme? Where do you think the suicidal empathy ideology comes from? It comes from people being systematically indoctrinated into thinking that their own culture is problematic by nature, but all other cultures that exist are not. The reality is that everybody has killed everybody, right? Just like throughout history. And so nobody really has a monopoly on this kind of stuff one way or another.